Stuck in citizenship limbo. It's what immigration lawyers KXAN spoke with say is happening to Austinites waiting for a naturalization ceremony. KXAN's Josh Skurnick joins us now. So just how long will this be an issue?
Jen, last month the city said the federal government had canceled all naturalization ceremonies in the city of Austin for the, quote, foreseeable future. It's the final step required to become a U.S. citizen, costing time, money. One lawyer I spoke with tells me this could create a mass of lawsuits if immigrants don't get their ceremony in the window required by law. And while the city says USCIS tells them naturalization application numbers are down, lawyers say they see an increase, and the data I combed through looks to support it.
That you will support and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States of America.
After a year of interviews, a test, vetting, taking the oath to renounce former allegiance and support and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States is an immigrant's final step in naturalizing, granting the right to vote, work, travel, and enjoy all of the benefits of what it means to be an American. Now in Austin, they don't know when that will happen or where it will be.
They're just trying to delay.
Originally having 6 on the calendar for this year, in January the city put out a notice that U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services canceled all citizenship ceremonies in Austin for the, quote, foreseeable future. Immigration lawyers we spoke with believe this is the federal government attempting to get naturalization numbers down.
This is not their first time being vetted if they're being naturalized. They've been vetted at least one other time very thoroughly, and probably 2 or 3 other times as well. And the fact of the matter is that they shouldn't be putting up barriers.
The government has 120 days to provide a ceremony to an immigrant who's passed all the steps or face a lawsuit. In the past, the wait was as little as a month. With no planned ceremonies at City Hall or around town, people can get assigned one anywhere in the region at any time.
They could choose to do them in far-flung regions and make it even more difficult. San Antonio is generally where they are done, but we have no control over if they want to do it at 2 o'clock in the morning in Lockhart.
I think that there are people who might not be able to travel or who might not pursue the citizenship process, or just as bad, might not get their citizenship in time to be able to vote in the election because it takes so long.
A greater risk of deportation, unable to do certain jobs, keeping them from family. The risks are real as an immigrant is forced to wait, according to Schwartz. The city says USCIS's reasoning for dropping ceremonies is due to, quote, a significant decline in N400 application for naturalization submissions. But we crunched the latest available numbers, which stop after the third quarter of 2025, looking at the people who are approved for naturalization and needed a ceremony. In 2024, the San Antonio field office, which covers Austin, approved a little less than 17,500 of those submissions. In the first 3 quarters of last year, that same office approved a little more than 16,500 N400 applications. We've almost reached the total for 2024 and still have a quarter to go. We brought these numbers to USCIS and asked what decline they see. They didn't answer that question, but told us, quote, for years, the Biden administration prioritized rubber stamping naturalization applications with minimal vetting, adding there are now new, more rigorous screening and vetting processes, and USCIS will not take shortcuts in the adjudications process. For now, it's hurry up and wait, and a loss of a celebration in their hometown.
It became part of the culture, part of the fabric of Austin, and it was really a beautiful thing that they could do it. They would be able to, drive by the place where they had become citizens. And they are just wanting to have the opportunity to raise their right hand and swear that they will uphold the Constitution of the United States and be good citizens.
We also asked the city if they are doing anything to get the ceremonies back up and running and are waiting on their answer. The memorandum mentions the possibility of ceremonies in March at the Austin Courthouse. We are also working to get more clarity on that.